Good evening, everybody. My name is Daphne Reyes, and today I'll be speaking on the College Epidemic, which is sleep deprivation among college students today. Not getting a sufficient amount of sleep, it has been proven recently to lead to several unpleasant health issues, such as stroke, heart disease, memory loss, and even diabetes itself. Yet half of Americans in the United States report that they know they're not getting enough sleep. That's about 160 million people. And half of these people admit that they're not taking any steps to, solving the problem that they have. Not many individuals understand how important it is to make sure that you're getting enough sleep, every night. It's so essential to your mental, physical, and emotional health. Sleep experts say that the amount of sleep that you should be getting is directly related to your age. For example, babies require about 18 hours of sleep a night. 3 to 18-year-olds require about 10 hours of sleep a night or so, and 18 and over require about 8 hours of sleep a night. So once an individual does not get the recommended amount of sleep for a period of 4 days in a row, they are then experiencing sleep deprivation. As a senior in college myself, working towards my medical degree, I find it painfully and extremely difficult to find the amount of time to sleep. Juggling 2 jobs, schoolwork, classes, family, my rigorous workouts, and on top of that, trying to sleep 8 hours of sleep a night is almost impossible for me. And I constantly find myself experiencing the several, symptoms that researchers state that you can have from getting sleep deprived. So today I'm here to talk about what sleep deprivation is, as well as what it all encompasses. Then I'll go into how and why it is so prevalent among college students, and also provide some solutions and effective ways that you can kind of overcome sleep deprivation or the symptoms of it. So, sleep deprivation occurs when an individual fails to get enough sleep. Once an individual does not get the recommended amount of sleep for about 12 days in a row, they are then experiencing chronic sleep deprivation, which can be very, very bad for a person's, mental health, performance, safety, and even pocketbook. The following diagram that we see here is actually, it depicts how the human body is affected and exactly what part of the body is affected. So as we can see, the brain is directly affected by sleep deprivation, and some of the symptoms are irritability, memory loss, and even mood swings and hallucination. So the heart is also very much directly affected by sleep deprivation, and the symptoms are increased heart rate as well as potentially leading to heart disease in the future. So the primary effect of sleep deprivation is excessive daytime sleepiness. A sleep deprived person finds himself, almost nearly falling asleep all the time in a quiet situation where they're forced to sit still for a long period of time, such as a classroom or a business meeting. This degree of severe sleepiness is very dangerous and can lead to, vehicle accidents, so falling asleep at the wheel, as well as workplace injuries. For example, in January of 1986, we had the space shuttle launch and explode just seconds after it launched, and 7 crew members were killed in that launch. And it was stated in a report that some of the managers involved in the launch itself had only gotten 2 hours of sleep prior to coming back in at 1 in the morning to prepare for the launch itself, which is just crazy. Now that we have kind of gone over what sleep deprivation is and what it encompasses, we can go into seeing how it directly affects college students. According to studies that have been conducted, deprivation of sleep is incredibly prevalent among college students directly. So college students not only have a full plate, they also have an overflowing plate, which handles a job, handles classes, schoolwork, family, a social life. So juggling all of these requires more time and ultimately less sleep, unfortunately. The consequences of sleep deprivation and daytime sleepiness is especially problematic to college students because it can lead to lower GPAs, increased risk of academic failure, as well as compromised learning, impaired mood, and even accidents in the car accidents. So the following diagram here depicts and compares the amount of hours that students get during the weeknights as opposed to what they get on the weekends. So as we can see, majority of students get about 5 to 6 hours of sleep during the week, and they get about 7 to 8 hours of sleep on the weekend, which is actually the recommended amount of sleep. And the most common reasons as to why they were sleep deprived during the week was finishing up schoolwork, socializing, procrastination even, and then followed by studying for exams. At least 3 days a week, 60% of college students report that they are dragging, tired, and sleepy. 50% report that they have daytime sleepiness in classrooms and doing homework and everything. So that's really hard to work and do homework. I can personally say that college is a huge time for, personal and intellectual development as, students go from adolescence to adulthood. However, the worth of college is rarely debated. You get higher earnings in the long run. You have more knowledge in the long run. However, there's also a personal and societal cost with college when it comes to money and time. So in order to be able to take advantage fully of everything that college has given you, and in order to be making sure that you take advantage of all the money that you spent on college, college students should really try and get the amount of sleep recommended so they can be focused and actually be grasping all the concepts. Understanding the basics of sleep deprivation and why it is so common among college students is truly the key to understanding and implementing any solutions that we have for sleep deprivation. It is undeniably important that college students get the recommended amount of sleep to be able to focus and feel prepared and alert during school. And if they are being sleep deprived, they should seek effective solutions immediately. But the only sure way to make sure that an individual is overcoming sleep deprivation is to increase nightly sleep. There's absolutely no substitution at all for sleep deprivation, for sleep. So college students have a difficult time, finding the amount of time to sleep. They're finding time to sleep itself. They may feel like they have to make a substantial sacrifice in order to be able to get those hours of sleep. However, when we are able to get enough sleep, when college students are able to get some sleep, there are some pointers that I can give you guys to make sure that the sleep is quality sleep. So it's been proven that artificial light, for example, light bulbs or computer screen or TV screen, that suppresses the release of melatonin, and melatonin is actually a sleep-promoting hormone in the body. So with artificial light, it makes it harder to fall asleep during the night. Keeping the cell phone out of the bedroom as well ensures that we fall asleep quicker and stay asleep, because it's been proven that about 10% of us are awakened in the middle of the night from cell phone a couple nights a week. So cutting back hours at work is also another solution. Going out less on the weekends, as well as even cutting hours spent on hobbies. However, we know that might not always be a solution for us. There are short-term solutions to sleep deprivation to overcome the effects. However, it's important to understand that these are not long-term solutions. For example, research shows that naps and caffeine are both very, very popular among college students. The benefits of naps. So a nap prior to a sleep deprivation period is called a prophylactic nap. So a prophylactic nap and caffeine can be very powerful and very effective in overcoming the effects of sleep deprivation. But it is also important to understand that the use of caffeine can lead to tolerance, so you may feel like you need more and more, as well as it can cause negative withdrawal effects. So you just need to understand that these two are not permanent and long-term solutions to this. Sleep deprivation is the point at which an individual does not receive the recommended amount of sleep regularly and begins to experience some of the many side effects of sleep deprivation, including hallucination. So sleep deprivation is especially common among college students themselves for several reasons, including the amount of schoolwork that we have. But there are several solutions and ideal effective ways to, put an end to this epidemic, such as adjusting your overall schedule or taking a short nap throughout the day. Sleep deprivation in college students has been linked to lower GPAs because of their concentration, memory, and mood is affected severely. Now is the time to recognize the presence of this problem. Now is the time to find an effective solution that works for you personally, and now is the time to get the GPA that every college student dreams of. Is there any questions, anything at all? All right, guys, thank you very much for listening tonight.